thank you. I'm glad to be with you and to be given the opportunity to present our program, our Master on European and East Asian Governance. It's a quite young program. It's in its 5th year. We have the 5th cohort right now. We started back in 2017 with this program. And I'm going to share my screen, hoping that it will work. That should be the right one. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, always wonderful. Thank you.
Fine. Then let me ask and answer a number of questions. Why to study this program? Why at Trier University? And finally, as the other speakers also did, how do I get in? What are the basic requirements to join us? Let me start with the first question, why to study this program? I think when we set up the program some 6-7 years ago, when we started to think about it, we thought about unique program features that we wanted to have. And one is that we do not have area studies of only one region, but of two. That provides for the opportunity to compare two key world regions in terms of political weight. These are heavyweights, of course, these regions, and economic clout and weight, and to study, besides a comparative perspective, the link between those two regions, their relationships, political and economic relationships. And I do not know about any other program, English-speaking program, covering these two regions from a political science perspective and international relations perspective. That's another unique selling point, so to say, of our program. We made the deliberate choice not to set up an interdisciplinary program. We have a law module in that as a kind of second discipline coming into this program, but we wanted to have a political science / international relations or international political economy program, which gives it a distinctive flavor, if you want. And another specificity of that program is that it is overall quite policy oriented. It's not heavily theory oriented, nor dealing mainly with politics issues, but we are looking not only, but that's a major emphasis, at policies and the governance of different policy fields in those two regions. By the way, when I speak of East Asia as the second region besides the European Union, we are mainly talking about China, the big elephant in the room, so to say, not exclusively, and there's room for students to pick up other examples, other countries from East Asia or from other parts of Asia to work on. But in terms of teaching, the main emphasis with regard to East Asia is on China. As the others explained as well, we do not ask for tuition fees, except for students who add a second MA to a first one that they followed or completed elsewhere. That's a rare case. But besides this case, you do not have to pay tuition fees, just an administrative fee of, I think, something like 250 euros per semester, which allows you to use public transportation and get access to some facilities on campus and around. Okay, we are a highly international program. Currently, we have roughly 80%, almost 80% of students from outside Germany. They come from all over the place, from very different regions. A certain emphasis or certain overrepresentation perhaps given to Asia, but not that much to East Asia. We had a student from Singapore, for instance, or South Korea, and Singapore shows you already that Southeast Asia is among the countries where the participants come from. But overall, we had so far in these 5 years, people coming from 25 different countries, from Latin America, from Europe, several places. Currently, due to the pandemic for this year, the last one, the number of third country students from outside the European Union or outside Europe, broader speaking, dropped a bit, but we think it's going to pick up as soon as the conditions of the pandemic will calm down more and more over time. So there is a highly international program, which adds to the attractiveness, I think. We try to add to the core curriculum some extracurricular activities. For instance, we are part of a broader consortium conducting simulations on a yearly basis on European decision-making that is called Eurosim. It's basically a collaboration between a number of US colleges and universities and a number of European ones. And one year it is, the simulations are held in the US, next year in Europe on a specific legislative proposal or foreign policy issue of the European Union. And around 200 students from European countries and the US come together to discuss this and to negotiate a proposal. Okay, that's just an example of extracurricular activities. We also organized 2 summer schools together with the University of Tokyo, Todai, the most important university in Japan. You might know we have also an exchange program so that you can, during your stay in Trier, have a semester in Tokyo at the best university available there. And I come back to these activities or these opportunities with regard to studies outside Trier in a moment. And so far, based on experience with the first who completed these studies, we think that this study program provides you with excellent job opportunities. Let me move on. So to give you an overview of the basic structure of this program, as you see, it is a 120.4 semester program, and the first semester gives you some overview over European politics and governance and East Asian politics and governance, a broader approach. Some students coming here have already previous teaching or experience with European topics, others with Chinese or East Asian topics, and to bring them to a certain extent on the same page. This first semester tries to provide a broad overview, including bringing them on the same page with regard to research techniques and methods. And then we go on with courses on European and East Asian political economy. And political economy issue that is due to the fields of specialization of those teaching in this program are quite prominent. They are not exclusive, but political economy issue, both domestic and international political economy, has a certain weight in the overall program. And then we are also dealing with international relations. You see 2 linked modules on global governance, giving a broader perspective, and then looking how the European Union and East Asia act in fields of global governance, be it environmental governance, trade, investment governance, international financial regulation, or security governance. And as I said, the program is policy oriented, hence we have a module on European public policies, and in the third semester, another one on European decision making, which is providing you with negotiation skills and also negotiation theory, and is linked to this international negotiation, which brings together American and European students once a year. Additionally, 1 European law module introducing you in the core of European Union law, and a second field of European law, which differs from year to year, which changes. Recently, we had European human rights law and European legal history as second part of this module to give you an idea on the content, the concrete one. And you have the option to do an internship, which might replace one of the modules in the third semester. And what is perhaps distinctive to our approach is that having 2 regions, we have very often the possibility to do comparisons of their institutions, of the ways they govern different key policy fields, of the ways they deal with current challenges in terms of global governance. And Another specificity perhaps of our program is that we are the teachers, the faculty members teaching that program, keenly interested in phenomena of disruptive and transformative changes, both in the field of economy and in politics and different policy fields. And so you see it's quite practically oriented, and this is also reflected in the teaching formats, the modules, especially Eurosim, where you are prepared to conduct negotiations, to acquire some negotiation skills and test them in a big simulation. And of course, the option to have an internship follows the same idea. We have a collaboration with a number of other partner institutions. I named already the University of Tokyo. We hope to be able to continue this cooperation into the future. And one specificity which is highly appreciated by students, according to our experience, is that we have a mentoring program, meaning incoming students after several weeks or a couple of months given a mentor who tries to guide them through the entire study program and who is there to give them advice in case they need advice with regard to different key issues they have to face or problems they have to face. Okay, these are the faculty members that are teaching inside this program. From the political science part, I did not include the European law people because they change from semester to semester. So basically you have two specialists on China, outstanding specialists, Sebastian Heimann and Dirk Schmidt, who have textbooks on the market, both in German and English, on the political system of China, and also in German and English on foreign policy and foreign economic policy of China. And myself and Moritz Liebe, we are specialized in European Union studies. My field of specialization is Franco-German relations inside the European Union and political economy issues of the European Union. And Sascha Wertes, he's specializing in UN issues, in security and peace studies, and he's responsible for the global governance module. Why Trier University? Why shouldn't you pick another program with perhaps some related content in another town or another university? Let's first look at Trier. It's an interesting place. It's a smaller city, 100,000, a little bit more than 100,000 inhabitants. But it's the oldest city in Germany with a rich Roman heritage. And it has a university of 12,000 students right now. That means that it's not an anonymous, huge university. We know each other. That's a tremendous advantage of studying here in Trier. And our discipline, political science, we had a recent evaluation of Zentrum für Hochschulentwicklung, which is the most important university and discipline ranking in Germany. And we got excellent grades in terms of study atmosphere, in terms of the facilities here, and students gave us good rankings or good grades with regard to the quality of this study environment in political science at Trier University. Trier is a place located at the heart of Europe. That means that important European institutions are all nearby. Luxembourg is next door. Luxembourg City is 40 kilometers away from here. And you have, of course, the European Court of Justice there. You have the European Investment Bank. You have the European Court of Auditors located in Luxembourg. The European Stability Mechanism is located there. That means there are also internship opportunities around the corner. And Strasbourg is also not far away. And students in our program seize the opportunity of those locations nearby. Brussels is not far away. They do internships in the European Parliament. A student of mine just told me this week that she was accepted for a traineeship at the European Commission. Others have done internship with the European Court of Auditors recently, and so on. And you have Luxembourg as a very international place where you can find other job opportunities and internship opportunities as well in the financial industry and the big financial hub that Luxembourg represents. And Trier University, as I said, 12,000 students, is a nice place. That means we have a very green campus, as you might see on the pictures here. We bump always into each other because it's not an overcrowded campus, and you're going to know quite quickly a lot of people, not only inside your study program, but also from other disciplines. And that is, I think, a very strong advantage of studying in a mid-sized university. As others who presented their programs also mentioned, you have also options to study beyond Trier University. We have a very intense cooperation between universities of the so-called Greater Region, which is made up of our regional state, Rhineland-Pfalz, the state of Luxembourg, the Francophone part of Belgium, Wallonie, and Lorraine, the French region of Lorraine. So you can attend courses without very much administrative difficulties in these places as well. For instance, the University of Luxembourg has also a master program in European governance with related topics, at least on the European side. And some of the students seize the opportunity to take a course or two in Luxembourg as well. Beyond that, we have a broad network of Erasmus partners around Europe and some partners in the US and Canada, and mentioned Tokyo and other places as well. And a number of students really seize this opportunity to integrate one study year, now usually one study a semester abroad in another university. Okay, here I have some reports of their experience of two who completed of the first and second year students when we started our program. And as you see, they ended up as consultants and analysts in fields very close to their study program. Valerie Tan is working for the most important think tank, Mercator Institute for China Studies, most important think tank on China in Europe, which was founded, founding director was Sebastian Heilmann, who served as director of this institute for 5 years and is now came back to Trier to teach inside our program. Others who completed the program ended up in professional fields such as public relations, or also in big companies in Luxembourg, in financial industry, some ended up there. So you see, you have a broad field of opportunities of professional fields where you might be hired in the future after having completed this program. Entry requirements, as I said, we are a political science program at the core, so you need some political science background or closely related disciplines. You have to have at least something like 60 ECTS in order to get into this program. It's fully taught in English. You do not have to have German language skills. You have to have a good command of English, C1 level, and you have to have a minimal grade point average of 2.7 in order to be accepted for this program. You can find much more details on the program and fields of activity and the procedure, how to apply. Basically, with regard to application periods, for those of you coming from outside the European Union, it's the May of 22, which is important for you. It starts 1st May to the end of May, and we are only taking in students for the winter term. And those from the European Union have more time from early May to 15th of July. And Germans have even a little bit longer period for applying. And I added a QR code which links you directly to a specific homepage presenting in much more detail our program. And we would be happy to hear from you. And in case you have some specific question, ask them right now or use this email to send them to us. We're happy to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you for your attention, and I'm ready to ask whatever questions you might have.